Another week gone by, and I think I'm going to call this week the week of differential instruction. We looked over the whole idea of using jumble notes and what's my rule and clients to make classes more interesting, and then flipping over to my Prof 155 class, we looked at how to make media videos to kind of express an opinion or a point. So it felt good to finally do something that felt useful and purposeful in that class, instead of just talking about the history of racism and sexism. We got to talk about how to address all of these different issues in the classes, just by watching everybody else's videos and their ideas on how you can handle different situations. I'm really tempted to try something similar that kind of goes along with the idea of doing slow motion in a physics class. I think it would also be fun to kind of have like a mock Oscar nomination. I think it would be a really fun way to do peer assessment, plus it would be really fun and engaging for the students. In math, we looked at differential instruction for teaching different concepts using foldables. So basically you take class notes, but on a folded sheet of paper, that kind of creates a workplace around your notes that you can work in as well. So that was an interesting idea. We also had a guest speaker come to our math class and talk a little bit about the difference between new math and old math. He mentioned this one idea that I really liked about how to teach probability properly. He had these little pig dices that weren't an equal distribution of mass, so that you wouldn't be able to theoretically determine the probability unless you went into the all itty-gritty physics of it, which students in a typical high school math class wouldn't do. In this case, it's a lot simpler to determine the probability through experience. I really hope to use that in my classrooms one day. So it's been really fun this week exploring all of these different topics for differential instruction, and kind of give me some ideas of my own about different things I could do in a classroom. One idea that I've been toying with a bit is looking at math through its applications a bit more directly. For example, there is a lot of math involved with different animations. With the recent hit movie Frozen that came out, I think that looking at how math was used in a whole animation process could be interesting for the students. I was also thinking about possibly getting the students to make a short animation using math as well. I'm not exactly sure how to go about that. This is still obviously a work in progress. One fun activity I would really want to try out in a classroom is the idea of using a graphing online calculator such as Desmos, for example, using ellipse and linear functions and parabolas and sinoid functions. You can make a lot of different two-dimensional objects out of that. So here's an example that I did real quick. Just ignore this little thing in the corner that's supposed to be a bunny that's not exactly quite completed yet. Now the only thing I really need to figure out is how I can find a program that will let me vary the function with time so that my little stick figure could actually wave. Another idea I've been playing around with is the possibility of getting students who are a bit more creative to write a scientifically accurate short story where they're allowed to change one law of physics. For example, if you got rid of gravity, people would be floating around. Of course, technically speaking, if you got rid of gravity completely, then you wouldn't be able to have things actually come together and form planets and suns. The grading scheme would be based on how far their understanding of that one law goes. So I hope the inspiration continues and that next week will be equally as enjoyable. Lots of assignments due, so I'm going to head back to doing that. Bye!